Hello my friends and welcome to this new EC2 practical tutorial on security groups. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create security group rules that allow traffic from and to your EC2 instance. So as usual, let's start from scratch. We're going to go to the search bar here to enter EC2 so that we can access again the EC2 Amazon Web Service. Then we're going to be redirected to the EC2 main dashboard, from which we're going to launch a new instance by clicking this button Launch Instance here. Then same as before, we're going to give it the same name, My EC2 Instance. Then we choose the same AMI as before with the Linux operating system, giving you the Amazon Linux 2 AMI with the following instance type. So don't change anything here, but make sure that it is free tier eligible. That's also the most important. Then, same as before, we're just going to select here proceed without a key pair. We will cover this later when we connect to our EC2 instance through SSH. However, we're going to make a stop here in network settings because that's the first way you can create or edit a security group. As you can see, by default, it will create a security group that will allow SSH traffic from anywhere. And that means that there will be a security group inbound rule that will be created so that we can connect to our EC2 instance from any machine like your computer through SSH. Then you can also select, for example, this option, which will allow HTTP traffic from the internet to your EC2 instance, meaning that it will allow users to connect to any non-secure website hosted on our EC2 instance. And then we could also select this option to allow users to connect to any secured website hosted on our EC2 instance. But we won't select it now because I will show you how to create the security inbound rule later on after our instance is launched, right? So that you can see all the options on how to create such rules, okay? And then we're going to leave all the rest as default. We're going to directly launch our instance. All right, launching instance, creating security group rule. I don't know if you saw it. Success. Now we're going to view all instances and we can refresh here until, we see our instance state running. All right, so I'm going to fast forward here. And there we go. Our instance is now running. Perfect. So now let's select this. I just want to show you first that in security here, you will see your security groups with the inbound rules that we chose to create, when launching the instance. So this is the port range for SSH 22. So that's the inbound rule that allows SSH connections to your instance. And this corresponds to the HTTP port range, which allows HTTP traffic from the internet. All right. And then we have the outbound rules, and by default, all ports range from all protocols will be allowed connections from our EC2 instance. In other words, our EC2 instance can connect to anything. Okay? And now, let me show you from this dashboard how to create a new security group rule. So you go to the left-hand panel here, you scroll down, and you're going to go to Network and Security and then Security Groups. Okay? And here, you will find two security groups, one default security group that will always be here, and the Launch Wizard 1 security group, which is the security group we created when launching our instance, with the two inbound rules that you can check here. One that was selected by default to allow SSH connection to your EC2 instance, and the other one that we selected that will allow users to connect to any non-secure website hosted on our EC2 instance. And now, let me show you how to create a new inbound rule, and let's choose one that will allow users to connect to any secure website, this time hosted on our EC2 instance. So you go to Edit Inbound Rules here, and then you're going to click Add Rule. And so here in the drop down of the type, you're going to select, HTTPS, which corresponds to the protocol of secure websites. All right, so let's select it. It has the port 443. And then here, this option controls what can be the source of the incoming traffic, meaning from which IP addresses users can access HTTPS. So it can be any IPv4 or even IPv6 address, or it can be a particular address which you can enter by clicking Custom here and then entering the address. But let's choose any, and then there you go. You just need to click Save Rules here to add this new inbound rules, right? As you can see now, we have the three inbound rules, one for SSH with the port 22, one for HTTP with the port 80, and one for HTTPS with the port 443. Alright? Perfect. And now let me just quickly show you how to edit outbound rules, even though it is very rare that an outbound rule is edited or added, because by default, all traffic from your EC2 instance is allowed, right? But same, you would click edit outbound rules and you can choose to change the rules if you want. Great. And now just one final important note before we finish. Just know that this Launch Wizard 1 security group that we created for our EC2 instance can actually be attached to other EC2 instances. Right? It is not exclusive to the EC2 instance we created with it. Okay, so congratulations, you now know how to handle security groups, and before we continue, let's not forget to terminate our instance to keep our money safe. So you go to Instance State here and you click Terminate Instance. Terminate, and now we're all good to go. I look forward to seeing you in the next practical tutorial, and until then, enjoy the cloud.